Hi, I'm Shawn and I've been coming to Neighbourhood Church for about 9 years. I have a wife, Kimberly, and daughter, Megan, daughter, Kendra, and a son, Cameron. We moved to Nanaimo 9 years ago, and we had lived in Tsawwassen, which is about the shortest commute to the island I can think of. And we had been part of a very large church there and been there for 10 years. And best way I could sum up our church experience in Nanaimo was, or in Tsawwassen, was that after 7 years, someone asked us, are you new here? And so when we came to Nanaimo, we were definitely thinking about being involved in a church in a more committed way. We had a family that was fairly young, but it seemed in our life that it was a good opportunity for Kim and I to be more involved in church life. And so when we went looking for a church, we weren't just looking for what church was offering us, but we were also thinking about what can we bring to the church. Every time we came back to the neighborhood church, we felt welcomed, and we felt people were trying to draw us in to the neighborhood church. And it became very clear after probably the second or third time we kind of returned to neighborhood that this was going to be the place for us. And I think the first Sunday after that, 2 people came up to us and invited us to care groups. Our experience when we came to neighborhood was that it was a very welcoming church. And we seemed to be embraced by the people here. And of course, we were looking to get involved. We were looking to participate, but it seemed like a two-way street, that people were drawing us into the community. And that was a pretty neat experience. You know, as I got more involved in the church leadership, we did some surveys, and we found probably about 5 years ago that, you know, some people said we weren't that welcoming. And it kind of surprised me, but, you know, we took that feedback seriously. And one of the things that Travis and I embarked on was the idea of just making sure that people were welcomed every Sunday, and that someone would intentionally make sure that every person who was new in the church had a conversation. For me, welcoming people is the key to what we do here at the church each Sunday. Many people go into churches and feel like they can walk in and walk out and no one will even talk to them because everyone in the church knows each other. But at our church, almost every Sunday, there's probably 5 to 10% of people have been there maybe once or maybe a couple times. And so one of the things we embarked on was Know Your Row. And Know Your Row is a really good process. It's a very intentional act that we asked people to stop, look around, front, behind them, just in the rows that they're sitting in, not all over the church. And do they see anybody they don't know? If they don't know that person, just do what I just described. Hey, I don't believe I've ever met you before. Because even if they've been there a while, you may not have met them. And the other thing was the idea of Know Your Row. What I started to see from the back of the church was, instead of me thinking about, oh, how are Travis and I going to meet these people or engage other people in meeting new people, people just stand up, they turn around, and they greet those people. It happens so often now. I think every once in a while the church has to be reminded to do it. But it's amazing to me how many Sundays that people just stand up, turn around, and go, I don't believe I met you before. So as I kind of said in the introduction, we came from a large church before here. It was probably at one time up to 1,000 people, and you could easily hide in a church like that. All the programs were there to kind of serve you. And I have to say, I don't think that's the way Neighborhood's going to work. Neighborhood church, I think, demands everyone's participation. And I feel comfortable saying that. We have lots of ministry, children's ministry, we have youth ministries, we have seniors ministries, we have food bank, and there's so many opportunities for people to participate in the life of the church. And frankly, I don't think the church can function without most everyone doing a small part. And I believe that's the way this church needs to function. I think that's the way all churches should function. And I believe the best way to welcome someone into the community is ask them to do something. And, you know, it can be delivering for the community project. It can be helping sort out food for food bank. There's so many different jobs. Not everyone's comfortable being a Sunday school teacher, but there's always helpers. There's always some way you can help. And so You know, for me, the vision of this church is it's a neighborhood where everyone participates. And that's what I love about it.